in our life today, because one of the greatest problems of humanity and in understanding self is the loss of mentality. A lot of human beings were wired with the wrong mentality. And once you are wired with the wrong mentality, whatever you do, you keep struggling because you are wired with the wrong mentality. The success or development or prospect of any individual or of any nation is incumbent on the mentality at which that nation is wired. Today, I'm going to be talking about a couple of mentalities that we have been wired with that are wrong in our country. The number one mentality that we've been wired with that is wrong is that you can get away with evil as long as you know people. That mentality is a wrong mentality. Because if we have a society where people do not have retribution for actions, then we don't have a society. If we have a society where people can get away with murder because they know people, then we do not have a society. But one of our biggest mentality problems is that as long as you know people, you can get away with illegitimacy. We even fashion this mentality under the subtext of the person will change. Yes, the person will change does not mean that we should condone evil when evil is done. The person will change does not mean that we should condone destruction when destruction is meted out and is made the lot of a lot of people. This mentality carries on into many affairs of our lives. People that are not qualified, that don't meet the threshold to get into university, are allowed to get into university because of this mentality. People that do not do things right in universities are allowed to pass with flying colors just because they sleep with the lecturer in university. The mentality is the fact that you can get away with anything as long as you know people. It is that mentality that has given birth to a society of people that have disrespect for the rule of law and they think they can get away with anything. It is that mentality that has birthed a new set of people, ladies and men, that all they do is to sell sex. Anyway, that's their prerogative. They have no tangible work to do, but they go by just because they know people. Some will argue with me and say, Rufai, that's lobbying. Why are you so conservative and all of that? But we forget in a hurry that a society is the sum total of value being added for development. So once you lack that mentality, you lack what is right to be able to sustain society. You build a society of illegitimacy. Some other people will argue with me and say, Rufai, no, at least people get away with it in other parts of the world. Because people get away with it in other parts of the world does not make illegitimacy, crime, criminality, and bad things be tenable in any society. Because what it builds is it builds a level of repression. So those that do not have the kind of access you have, they are left behind in society. Some are going to argue and say, oh, but is that not the way society functions, the stronger and the weaker? But we forget that a society that denigrates the poor is not a strong society. A society that only accounts for the strong and not for the weak is not a strong society. And that's why Nigeria is becoming a weak society, because we leave the poor behind. So that's the first mentality. And once I have money, I can get away with anything. People can break all sorts of laws. People can even shoot other human beings, and as long as they have money, they will say, oh, let's settle out of court. They will pay the person they shot a lot of money, and they'll forget about the case. And even the police will be there to broker the peace. And even the legal system will be there. But you see, increasingly, when this continues unabated, you start to lose the trajectory and the joy of what a society is. And it only continues because nobody stops it. And the failure you have becomes systematic. If it happens once, it can happen again. If injustice happens once, it can happen again. If you can bribe people in authority once, you'll be able to bribe them again. Once it happens once, there's no capacity to be able to stop it, and it becomes repetitive. So the burden of society today has become that of people that get their way as long as they know people. They get their way as long as they can put their body down for sex. They get their way as long as they can give money to authorities. Yes, they can get their way. They can give them let my people go. But the question is, does it build society? No. Even when people argue and say, oh, we should not be too righteous, we should not be too sanctimonious. But it is righteousness that exalts a nation. Have you ever wondered why the Bible talks about righteousness being only the forthright thing that exalts a nation? Sin is a reproach. So when you have a nation that is reproached, it's as a result of the constancy of the reproach of society we have developed. And when you develop that, it becomes problematic in the long run because nothing moves in the society. It is only illegality that moves. Because the truth has to be said. When illegality moves, it envelopes the trajectory of society and destroys the fabric of society. And you see, the thing about illegality is that there will be people that will support it and defend it because they are benefiting from it or because the people they support are benefiting from it. But it doesn't make it right. And many years down the line, the people that are speaking up against illegalities today will be the true heroes, while the people that supported it will be the true losers. Because the truth has to be said, you cannot build a society on things that are not right and are not just. So that's the first mentality we need to make do with. We need to push away from our society. We have a society today where all the wrong things are praised as good because we've built a society on the wrong pedestal and everything right and righteous is not right. That's one. The second mindset that heralds our society today is that as long as it doesn't concern me, every other person can go and die. That's another mindset that is destroying our society. As long as it doesn't concern me, every other person can go and die. And that's the society we have built where we don't take care of the poor, where a lot of people are trampled upon, where their rights are destroyed. That is what we have systematically built, and that's why today we have well over 130 million poor people. As long as you can make money for yourself and your family, it doesn't concern me. The truth is, when you make this money for yourself and your family, are you going to live in isolation from the reality of your society? And the so-called society you relocate to, you forget in a hurry that it is justice, equity, fairness, and capacity to do good that builds such society. Is that what you forget in a hurry? So we have multiple platforms now. We're streaming on YouTube at 90.3 FM. A lot of carriers are also carrying us. We're live on radio, 90.3 terrestrial radio in Lagos and other parts of the world. We're also going to be on Spotify, the live stream on Spotify doesn't have a live stream. So we're going to record this and put it on Rufai Speaks podcast on Spotify so you can listen to it again. So, and we forget in a hurry, and we're also streaming on Facebook. Rufai is saying it, so you can watch that stream too. So we forget in a hurry that what really builds society is the ability to be able to care for people that will never be as big or better than you. A society where you have too many people telling you, do you know how rich I am? Then you know that society is a poor society. And that's why we have the problems we have in our society today, where people base their entire value on how wealthy they are. If you have to tell the world that, see, I pay, I do this, I do that, I'm worth over this, I'm worth over that, I'm worth this, I make a lot of money, then it means you're a poor man. Because people that are truly making a lot of money don't need to tell the world. The only way the world knows that people are making a lot of money is the impact on the lives of people. If your money is not impacting the lives of other people, then definitely your money is denigrating the lives of other people. It has to be one way. So, truth has to be said. A society that says we don't care for others, then it's not a society. So, whatever you have you thought about the person close to you? What is your relationship with the person close to you? I keep telling people, a husband and wife is fighting as your neighbor. You don't even go to their house and check on them and say, ah, please, you people stop. Let's find peace. The day the husband will kill the wife in the house, hope you know, you will be part of the witness. Police will ask questions because you live in the same apartment. So this mindset of, it concerns my neighbor, it doesn't concern me. Your neighbor's problem becomes your problem. And that's how society is built. It takes a village to raise a child. All of this we used to have before. But now it has gone out of our societal consciousness because what we have become is we have become so cautious and conscious about money, about selfishness, about our own, about how we can be better than others. And that's why we live in a society where, bad enough, we cannot provide electricity for ourselves. But when we buy a generator to pollute our environment even further, we call it a better pass my neighbor. So we are always in a competition. We are always willing to show that we're better than another person. But the truth has to be told. We were not like this before. We were a very close-knit society. I was telling somebody the other day, in African society, when we had villages and societal structures, across everywhere, we had something called Agbole, and they were hardly destitute. If you had come to that African society in the 1700s, you will hardly find destitute because everybody came from a homestead. And in the night, before the homestead shuts their gates, they will ask, has Lagbaja's daughter coming? Has Tamedu's daughter coming? Has Ishioma coming? Has Ifoma coming? Has Kabiru coming? Has Musa coming? And everybody will be accounted for. And even if there were people that were broken amongst them, they will bring them into the homestead and take care of them. But you see, the minute we started to veer off the hitherto structures of the African society, we started to have destitutes amongst us. Having destitute was not an African thing, hitherto. Was not always our lot on the African continent. It was when we veered off our hitherto original societal structure in Africa, we started to have destitute. We have a society that cared for each other. Even if it was small thing, nobody went hungry. Because when people cook, different quarters will cook in the homestead, and they will bring the food to the quadrangle, and everybody will sit and eat out of the food in the quadrangle. And elderly people then started the mentorship by giving the smaller children of the quadrangle little pieces of meat to eat. That's how we built our society in Africa. You will see, the other people will bring meat, eat out of it, put it in the mouth of little ones, sometimes even feed the little ones to ensure that society becomes a lot better. And that's how we built our society. We had a society before that elderly ones used to care for the little ones. But today, we now have a society where some elderly ones, all they think of is to get into the panties of the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds. So we've lost the trajectory of society. And if we do not go back to that model where we should truly care for people around us, then how can we build a society? Because there is nothing you have today you will take away with you. I keep telling people that. Today, since my father died, the home where I shared my childhood memories, everything is all locked up. Why? My father has died. I have gone to chase my career. My siblings have gone to chase their career. They live in many other parts of the world. They are scattered all over the world. So who lives there? Tenants, probably. So the so-called house you claim you own, you don't own anything. Don't deceive yourself. The only place you truly own is 6 feet under the ground. That's the truth. The greatest real estate you truly own till eternity is just 6 feet dug under the surface of the ground. That's your only real estate. No matter how much land and hectares and acres you acquire, the true real estate you own is just 6 feet dug under the ground. So the moment you realize that, how about you using your wealth to better society? Because this idea of let me be selfish for me and my friends alone. How about you using your wealth to better society? Me, I've decided that one of the things I'll use to better society is media. That's why I keep growing a lot of media. And that's why, as much as possible, any little resource I have that God gives me, I'll keep putting it into media to be able to be heard every part of the world, to be able to better the prospect of society. Because I know that once people get in alignment with mindset change, with messages like this, society starts to become a whole lot better. And definitely, how can I mentor a lot of people and use media to be able to amplify the prospect of people is my sole priority. So this is my calling. This is my way. But you see, a lot of people don't get it. They don't understand that when we build society, we build ourselves. When we see evil and we speak about it, we are preventing other evil from happening. The best way to shun evil is to speak about it, and so that people that have done evil, let them own up to it. Even if people try to muscle other people that are speaking the truth down, the truth is the truth will germinate one day. And that's why you see it is the evil one that run away. It is the evil ones that run away. So let us be careful. Let us stop that mindset that it does not concern me because it's happening to my brother. Every of my brother's concern is my concern. So what should we do? Let us see how we can bring more people out of poverty. Let us see how we can build more libraries. Let us see how we can build more universities. I personally, it's one of my dreams to build a university. And why do I want to? Because I know I have a lot of knowledge to pass on to the next generation. And I want to teach as much as possible. I want to teach leadership. I want to teach ethics. I want to teach development as much as possible. So I want to build a university. I also want to build healthcare because I know there's a lot we can do in healthcare for people. I also want to build, a lot of business structures for people and businesses because I know there's a lot we can do in terms of entrepreneurship. The essence of society is building all of this to grow society. See, I'll tell you the story of a man that uses money to build society. A certain man called Flagler had made a lot of money from the oil sector when the oil boom came. But guess what he did? He built up a new society. There was a little place out there that had just been acquired, I think, from the Mexican, and nobody saw possibility in the place. But guess what? Flagler started building the place. He built hotels there, built infrastructure. He built a little city. He encouraged a lot of people to come to the place. He built rail lines to get to the place. At some point, they decided to name this place after Flagler, but he said, no, don't name it after me. I just want to be the man to use my money to build a place. Today, everybody around the world wants to go to that place because a man built the place. Do you know where the place is? Miami. A certain man called Flagler built most of the infrastructure in Miami today. Built a city from scratch. Today, the world wants to come to Miami because of what Flagler built. In fact, a lot of people are tackling me. I can see somebody here, even Evan Fave on Facebook. He's saying, even the 6 feet is not totally yours afterwards. And it's quite correct. Because once you are crushed into the sand and you're dead, you're gone, you don't have property, you become manure for the land. It's as simple as that. So even the 6 feet is not fully yours. You decompose in the end. So, truth has to be said. You truly own nothing. And I think, let me repostulate that theory by saying the thing you truly own is the place you live in the hearts of people. That's what you truly own. The place you live in the hearts of people. Let me rephrase that. You don't own any earthly property. What you own is the place you live and the memories you live in the hearts of people. The impact you make in the hearts of people. Those are your real estates. I think a man's worth should be recalculated. I think Forbes got it all wrong. When Forbes say we have $50 billion in assets, bank balance. No, I think that's not the real worth of a man. The real worth of a man is the impact he leaves in the lives of other people. I think now we should be calculating that by the measure of the impact that people leave in the life of other people. That's the second sermon. Oh, powerful. I see my brother G. Achievable Morris watching all the way from Liberia and all of that. Let me give you the number. I want to be able to interact with you people as regards this. And I want you to call live. I want you to be able to call live. A lot of people are joining us across many platforms. Please call live. The number to call us up on is +234 818 +234 818 099 1991 +234 818 099 1991 +234 818 099 1991. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good morning.
Bless you so much. Wonderful Sunday. Please speak up. No, we lost it. Wonderful Sunday to you. +234 818 099 1991. Somebody said, Mr. Rufai, some people don't stay in their house anymore. All the nice single mothers all over Europe. Cynthia Omorige, Desmond Again, Sililoga Helen, thank you so much. Adekunle, thank you. Alainga Van Hu, thank you so much. Special commendation to you. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Call me up. Let's talk about this. +234 818 099 1991. Hello.
Hello.
Bless you. Turn up the volume of your radio set.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. What's your name?
My name is Akam Linus.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Agon, Lagos.
Great to have you. Talk to me.
Yeah, am I on to Rufai and say?
Yes, you're on to Rufai.
My brother, may God bless you.
Amen. Bless you.
In fact, this is the first time I'm getting you on phone.
Bless
I've
you.
been trying to reach you on Monday to Friday programs
Bless
with
you.
many, but I'm not been lucky. In
Bless
fact,
you.
I don't want to say much
Please turn
now
up
because
the
I'm
volume of
going
your
to-
radio set. It's distorting, please.
All right, okay, I will do that. Hold on.
I have to let you go. So sorry. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Bless you. What's your name?
I'm calling from Apple.
Where are you calling from?
Calling from Apple.
From where? Oof. All right. Please. Let's hello, how are you? Hello?
Hello.
Great to have you. Hello? Hello? Yeah, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Rufai. My name is Suleiman. I'm calling from Abuja.
Great to have you so much from Abuja. Bless you, my brother.
Yeah. I don't know. What's the topic you are up to today, Rufai?
I'm talking about the mindset. Some mindsets that we have that are destructive in Nigeria. And I talked about two mindsets. The mindset of, if it doesn't concern me, my neighbor can go and die. Hello?
Okay, I understand. If it doesn't concern somebody, if it doesn't concern you, your neighbor can go and die. How?
You know the mindset we have that as long as I'm okay, people around me might decide to do anything they want to do with their lives. As long as I'm comfortable, their concerns are not my concern. And we forget in a hurry that everything comes back to haunt us one way or the other.
Oh, that's anybody that have that kind of thought is very unfortunate to try. You see, when I was growing up, I understand. I live in a community in a barrack setting. You know, my dad was a retired soldier. When I was growing up, our neighbors usually we exchange food. You don't even know what your moms cook. You don't even really know what they cook in the house. This neighbor will cook and bring, which will cook and give to the neighbors. You understand? You won't even know whether you even cook at home because people share food among the neighbors. But nowadays, those things don't count anymore. People don't really care for one another. Somebody have even just this ordinary I better pass my neighbor and he can power maybe his house. Some people will come with their charger to come and charge their phone. People will be refusing. Do you understand? It's as worse as that. People fail to understand that all sinners are not equal and we must be our brother's keepers. Those days have gone, Rufai. It's sad.
Yes.
It's really sad.
Yes. And you hit the nail on the head. We don't even share food. How many days are people close to you even eating their neighbor's food? We don't even do that any longer.
It doesn't work again. I don't know. You know that even on Christmas Day, on Salah Day, people don't share food to strangers. People only give food to those they know. But those days, we share food. We give it to strangers. We give it to people around. People we don't know. In fact, people will come from somewhere just to come and eat. But it doesn't work again.
Yes.
It doesn't work again. And I don't know. Is it because of the economic situation in the country? Is it because of things that inflation has taken over.
No, my brother, we've just lost value. You remember back in those days, it was not that the economy was too well better. There was a lot of poverty too, but people came together. But today, our politicians and also people have learned to divide people. That's the problem.
I think I agree with you, honestly.
That's the problem.
I agree with you.
We are dividing people. Bless you so much, my brother. I really appreciate
Thank you very much. God bless you, Rufai.
all the way from Abuja. Bless you so much. So the number once again is +234 818 099 1991. For the Facebook people, +234 818 099 1991. And also for diaspora people. I just also let you know that the message we just put out is already on Rufai Speaks podcast. You can Google that Rufai Speaks podcast if you want to get a personal copy of the message to yourself on Spotify and listen to it all over again. Everything I said just now. Rufai Speaks podcast. The message too is also there. Hello, where are you calling from? Bless you. What's your name?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, what's your name?
This is Mr. Van.
Where are you calling from?
Port Harcourt.
From Port Harcourt. Great to have you, my brother.
All right.
Talk to me.
I'm watching from Port Harcourt and I'm seeing you on Facebook now.
Bless you. Please turn off the volume. Turn off the volume. It's echoing back.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Good. Go ahead.
All right. So the problem is that things have actually fallen apart.
Yes.
You know, there is a book that they wrote and said things fall apart. And the problem is that we don't even know where to start fixing things. Where to start fixing things in our minds first. You know, for you to achieve something, it must start from within. I don't know how the devil managed to attack the minds of men, that the only thing people think these days is just evil. It is me and myself. Selfishness. So I want to commend you for what you are doing. It's a nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bless you. Bless you so much, my brother. Bless you. Bless you.
All right.
And that's why we need to attack the minds of people. Somebody's saying, can we call? Yeah, you can call the number on WhatsApp. Sorry, number 2 is also on WhatsApp. For those also in diaspora that listen to us, you can call on WhatsApp. The number is also on WhatsApp. I'm sure I will have gotten a couple of calls via WhatsApp. Please do well. You can also call the number on WhatsApp. +234 818 09 +234 818 099 1991. All right. So that's it. You can call. You can send messages on WhatsApp. You know, you can just interact on WhatsApp via that number. All right. So +234 818 0911 +234 818 0911 +234 818 0911. All right. So do well to call us up across the line. Call us up. But the truth has to be said, a lot has gone wrong. And it is not because of anything. It is because of the hatred we have decided to sow in the last gone years. And this hatred didn't start today. It started many years ago. It started so many years ago, when people decided, for the love of their own self and self and personal interest, they decided to start sowing the seed of discord in the lives of others. And it was systematic. And guess what they used? They use the media. That's why I'm also using media for a path to good and societal reorientation. They use the media. They started using the media to do all sorts, destroying people systematically, using things to destroy the prospects of people, using the same media to turn people against one another. But we should not preach division. Hello, how are you? Bless you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Oshogbo.
Great to have you from Oshogbo. Bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Talk to me.
It's been a wonderful moment with you this morning.
Bless you so much.
And you are pointing to this aspect of major progress in our society.
Bless
you. Can't actually stand out here whereby everybody is on his own. We have a lot, probably 5% have hope in this country again. The kind of society we live, which is so bad, which is so bad. A lot of young guys now who is now in no more in Nigeria. A lot of people want to just japa, find their mate, because there's nothing that is working in our society. Which the world is evolving now. We know what's happening in other countries, other continents. We are seeing everything. So there's a lot of civilization now, whereby there's nothing you can hide from people or pretend to people again. You know the real thing that is happening in the world. So our leaders are so adamant or so selfish to implement the right thing that will benefit the masses. So you said it also. A lot of them, that's maybe their upbringing, because these people we call leaders, almost 95% of them went to public school whereby they enjoy everything from the government before they became where they are.
And that's true.
I don't know. I used to have my school. I don't know why is it not difficult for them to do the right thing.
That's true.
People better than when they were doing their own period.
And that's true.
I believe with what you are doing and so many right-minded people in our society, and we keep on shouting and claiming the right things. I think we'll get better, and as soon as possible, people are getting to the right position, definitely things will change. Because these people, they believe they will not die. That's just one of my own thoughts about it. They believe they will not die, and they keep doing whatever they like. That's what I think that's their problem. Because they will have that kind of right mindset, what you just said this morning now, and they will continue doing that way.
Yeah.
Because you know they're not going with all these things.
Thank you so much. I mean, it has to be said. Thank you so much. And that's why we're using media across many platforms to change society. We're on radio this morning. We're online on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere. We're using this platform to be able to change society. And all over the country, we've got a call from Oshogbo, Abuja, every part of the country. We're across many platforms, changing the world one step at a time. This is the message of the truth. That's why some other people will have this platform and they'll say divide. No, don't divide anybody. Don't destroy anybody. We are one united country. We'll have differences. We'll have hurts against each other, but how we can settle it matters a great deal. So let's not lead a time of division. Let us come together in truth and unity. Let us do what is right for one another. Let us build a society that is sustainable. And let us do good to one another. Good that will stand the test of time. Let us say it the way it is. And let us help improve the prospects of what is good, what is tenable, what is built in love, what is built in happiness, and what is built in consonance with the grace of God in our lives. We can't keep up with evil. We can't keep doing evil to one another. Let us build what is kind. Let us not have the mindset that I can get away with anything. Once you do, it becomes problematic. And it's a consuming fire. It will consume you. No evil shall go unpunished. No evil shall go unpunished. Let us not spread messages of hatred. Let us not spread messages of division. Hello, how are you? Hello? Hello? Oh, please do want to call me back. Let us not use the advancement of media God has given us to spread messages of hatred and spread messages of division. Let us do what is right. Let us be a blessing unto one another. Let us be a blessing unto many generations yet unborn. Let us be good to one another. Let us be kind to one another. And another thing too I'll be doing via this platform is a lot of helping people and a lot of support. So we will be looking at days where we just tell fans and listeners to connect with one another and support one another. Because I want to build a great family for Christ. And this is our family. I want to build a great family for unity, for joy, for happiness, for Nigeria, for the world in general. So I want to be a great family. I want us to build a great family for love, for the togetherness of the world. Let us spread that togetherness. Let us spread that joy. Let us spread that happiness. Let us spread that love. So let's do it, guys. With this family, we can do a lot together. We can truly care for one another. And that's why I want to start by saying, as we have the festival of our Muslim brothers coming up, please, if you have any Muslim friend, go out there, package a gift for them this festival coming up. Package a gift of kindness to them. Cook and reach out to them. Yes, I know that you might say, oh, it's not our holiday, it's a Muslim holiday, but cook. Even if it's a cake you can bake, just go with something in your hand. Even if it's drinks you can buy, go with something in your hands. Go with something in your hands and go to the house of your Muslim brother and offer it to them. Buy them a present. Show them love. And I know our Muslim brothers will also reciprocate and show a lot of love. Let's start by interacting, exchanging food, doing great things together, praying for our country together, eating together. I love food, and I think food unites a lot of people. I'm also looking for one where we can have an intercultural food day, where people from different parts of the country, we have a big fair, we cook, and we just eat food from every part of our country, and let food unite us. These are things that can unite us. I love food. I don't lie about it. So have a day where people just eat food from every part of the country. Food you never know existed before. And let our food unite us. So these are some of the things I want to plan with this our big family. In Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, in France, in Germany, in Spain, in every part of the world, in London, in UK, every part of the world. Because we must have a mindset that what concerns my brother concerns me. And if my brother has not eaten, can I lend him a little hand? Also, there's another part of it where people take advantage of your kindness. That I don't support. And when you're lending a helping hand, it should not be every time, because there's something called donor fatigue. You must also remember you can't save the world. But the little you can do for people till they stabilize and they get off on their feet. And once we can do it, we can grow a whole lot better. We can do things a whole lot better. In the other hour, from the 10 to 11 hour, I'll be playing an interview I had in the course of the week with somebody in the agri space from the TGI Group. And it promises to be great and lovely and awesome. And it's about the agricultural value chain and some opportunities for farmers. So if you want to go into farming, I did this interview because I wanted to get out some opportunities for you. And I hope these opportunities are going to help you a great deal. So from 10 to 11, just listen out. Listen to the great opportunities we set aside for a lot of people out there that want to go into farming. Next week, we'll also continue with another exciting series. But I'm sure this series has really, really blessed somebody out there. And it's really been the stuff of legends out there to be able to impact people. And if you want to hear the message again, it's still on platforms like Facebook. It's also on platforms like Rufai Speaks Podcast on Spotify. You can listen to that. It's a very powerful podcast. And it will help change the course of things. As you go this week, I pray God will bless you. It will keep everything safe for you. He'll keep your family safe. He'll help you achieve your dreams, hopes, and aspirations. He'll lift you up in every ramification. He'll give you peace on every side. And he'll make his face shine over you. So, it is well with you. And God is going to bless you this week. And He's going to keep you. And He's going to make you enjoy the good of Nigeria. We'll not enjoy the good of the land. We'll not suffer. Peace will be ours. We'll enjoy prosperity. We'll enjoy happiness of the land. We'll enjoy vitality of the land. And God will uphold all of us. Thank you all this morning. Thank you, Lagos. Thank you, Abuja. Thank you, Port Harcourt. Thank you, Oshogbo. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God lift you. God help you to create lasting impact and legacies. God help you raise your family. God give you the inspiration to do positive things. God help you to impact your country positively. God help you to change the prospect of other people's life positively. And God encourage you when you're weak, because there will be times that you will be weak. And it will be your strength. Thank you so much. Bless you all. God bless you. God keep you. So from 10 to about 10:30, we're going to have a two-part interview series where we talk to somebody, Sadiq Kasim of the TGI Group. He comes to speak on the agricultural sector. And next week, we'll also talk about the economy. That part is for national development. We'll talk about interesting ideas for national development. We'll talk about politics. We'll talk about things that will help grow our nation. We'll talk about opportunities that you never knew existed before. We've talked about great ideas on that segment. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about health sector and how we can grow the health sector with a doctor. And it's just amazing. Bless you. From the 10 o'clock hour, we start our interview. We have an interlude. And please, if you're an aspiring gospel musician or artist generally, you have inspirational songs that can uplift people, tag us, VOP 90.3 Lagos, VOP 90.6 Abuja. We're on Instagram, we're on social media. And just drop your song there for us. We'll pick it up there and we'll put it on our rotation and we'll play it out on air to be a blessing to others, all right? I've been, for about over 10 years, close to 10 years, I've been promoting and inspiring a lot of gospel acts on Sundays, and it can only get better. It can only get better. We should use technology to impact the world positively and change our prospect forever. Bless you all. Go and have a great week. Go and win this week. Bless you. Talk to you soon.
Okay. All right. We're right back to the interview. So you were talking about your, you being in the cotton ecosystem and some other things you've been doing.
Still, yes, so
yeah.
As work caught, like I said, we were into cotton some 20 years back until cotton production went down. So we moved on to some other crops. Wakot, that is West African Cotton Company Limited, changed just to Wakot instead of West African Cotton, and we now went into maize, rice, cotton, mostly supporting still those who remained in cotton, sesame, and soya. In all this, what we do is a complete value chain approach from seeds to agro inputs to extension to market access and the buyback program for the farmers. Today, we probably say that we have over 50,000 farmers across each of these value chains doing different types of activity and in different locations. Then Wakot also continues doing some other agri-commodities for export. So that is Wakot. Then we have Wafill and agro processing company in Shagamu doing vegetable oil out, and this is a multi-seed factory. When I say multi-seed, it processes all the oil seeds you can think of that are available in Nigeria in order to get out vegetable oil, because Nigeria, we have found out, is actually vegetable oil short in its consumption. So it's actually a way to reduce the import bill of food. We set up Wakot rice in Kebbi. Wakot rice is involved in cultivating rice and processing it. Today, after about 5 years and 6 years, let's say, in the process, we have taken the foremost position, the fourth position in Nigeria as the foremost rice company, doing production of over 240,000 metric tons of paddy, and probably we also claim to be the largest rice mill in Africa. This is also there. Then we have a fertilizer blending company. We are operating the Edo State Fertilizer Blending Company in Hauchi, the only compound blending plant in Nigeria. This is just producing fertilizers.
probably region specific. And since we started this in 2018, we've actually been moving in leaps and bounds. We're thinking of a way to expand this to cover more than just Nigeria, because being the only compound blending plant, we can produce specific blends. And as you know, Nigeria has changed from being an importer of fertilizers to probably a global player in the sector, and is looking forward to being the foremost supplier of urea, at least in the African continent, and will soon be able to cover the rest of the world. So this is how it's happening.
Okay. I mean, thank you so much, because a lot of people, when they look at Nigeria, they say, oh, what is really going on there? A lot is not going on. But with all you have said, with your group, the TGI Group, the TGI Group, a lot is going on. I want you to say the direct impact of all of these activities on the farmers and the things you've done to be able to upgrade farmers in Nigeria.
Okay, Rufai, thank you very much. You see, unlike many people who have been involved with farmers in this country, and also against all general media understanding that farmers have not been doing well, we don't want to say that. First of all, there is no better partner in the Nigerian economy than the rural farmer. We know that, we understand that. We've practiced it, we've seen it happening. And what do we give to the farmer? First of all, like I said, when we go into an area or any of our crops, the first thing we do is to understand the nature of the terrain and the people behind it. And our understanding of the Nigerian farmer is that first and foremost, he's a progressive person. He's interested in expanding his crops. He's interested in also making a living. He's interested in earning and getting out of the poverty vicious circle that he has been put in. So he, as a person also, we understand he's a very honest person. The rural farmer, regardless of location in this country, is a very honest person. So all these hype and stories that farmers, when they collect loans or when they collect items, they don't pay back and so on, is not true. For the last 5 years of our experience in outgrower scheme in Nigeria, we have averaged 98.6% recovery rate. 98.6% recovery rate. And these are the same rural farmers that everybody keeps saying, oh, they don't pay. And then the risk goes high. So the banks get scared and everybody runs away from supporting the rural farmer. This we have been doing, and we have been doing it very well. We have also seen a situation where, because of the support we get from the farmer and because of the support we put on the table, we have seen the productivity on the land and the farmer in many cases has doubled in the last 5 years. Let's take, for instance, rice when we started it in Kedi. The average production in a hectare of land is just about 2 tons per hectare of paddy. Today, our farmers are averaging 4 tons per hectare. So that's good.
How are you able to achieve? How are you able to achieve that?
Good practices, very good practices. You see, the farmer is why is his production low? His production is low because, number one, he doesn't have an assured supply of inputs. He doesn't have a support in terms of preparing his land. He doesn't have the support in terms of information on the right times to do the right things. Do you understand? If all of these things are in place, he is given inputs at the right time. He's given the advice of when to plant, when to weed, when to do this, when to do all of those things, and he does them right. When to harvest, how to protect his crops from wastages after harvest, post-harvest losses. He does a very good job. And for us who are eventual buyers of the finished produce that we will process, we will also teach him how best to keep those produce so that the machines that are going to process them would be happy also, so that I am able to produce the best quality rice rather than taking everything with trash and so on. So the farmer is happy to do that. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I get you. So it's just those cultural changes, and those cultural
practices, the change in practices. If he gets the right inputs at the right time and he's trained, one of the first things we always do is immediately we get to a community, we put them through series of trainings, one of which is farmer business school. I mean, we don't want him to start thinking he's just a tool. He's a businessman. We teach them group formation, and then they form themselves into groups, into cooperatives. We try to get access to give them access to the technology that is available. Today, one of our key challenges is the penetration in terms of technology. The rural farmer doesn't, for instance, have access to internet wherein he would understand what is the climatic change to expect, when it's going to rain, and so on. But then when we have them in groups, this information is disseminated to the group, so he knows when to spread his fertilizer so that it gives him the maximum maximum yield or support that he wants. We teach him when not to spray, because if he does and it rains, the rains will wash away the inputs and then it will be useless. You understand?
Yes.
So he knows these things. And then not too long ago, we started a financial inclusion program. The financial inclusion program is to say that, look, the farmer has been left out in the technologies of today. He's in the rural area, probably 50-60 kilometers from the nearest bank. So what does he require? Why does he have to put his money in the bank when he can't even reach it when he wants it? And we now thought of a process, and then the banks would have this fantastic KYC setting that has been established by their regulator. He must have a utility bill, he must have an ID card, he must have a paper that will show that he's living in a rented apartment or something. The village farmer lives in his own house, he's not renting. He doesn't have electricity that gives him electricity, so there would be no NEPA bill or water bill. He digs his well or digs his borehole and gets his own water. So how does he get a utility bill? He has a prepaid line that he only scratches the card and puts it. So, Airtel or MTN or all the service providers know him only because he puts in a recharge card. But they don't give him any paper to show that he is the owner, and so the bank will recognize him. What did we do? We approached the organization, NIMSI, that gives NIM certificates to people. And we took them to the rural areas. They sat there for several weeks registering our farmers and giving them NIM numbers. With your NIM number and your NIM certificate, you can go to the bank and start the process of KYC. That will now take you to have a BVN. Once you have a BVN, you can open a bank account. The next thing is, how do we solve the problem of cash availability in the rural area? This is another opportunity for the banks and financial inclusion system to go to these rural areas, recruit young men, convert them to money agents, give them POS cards, go around probably on a periodic basis, twice a week, once a week, either mop up cash from them or replenish their cash requirement. That's what is happening. Rural banking has taken another turn entirely. You can then imagine if I am buying produce from these people, my cash requirement to meet with them in their villages, hand over cash in this era of insecurity becomes high and unsustainable. But if they have bank accounts, we collect their produce, credit their account, instantly they see an alert. You want part of the cash, your POS person, money agent is next to you. You can sit with him and give him all the list of people with their bank accounts that you want to pay your debt, and they also get an alert immediately, and then you take the little cash that you need for your weekly activity, and that's it. And that reduces my problems of having to handle cash all this while.
Okay, so pretty much with this analogy, you've been able to build an ecosystem among farmers using all sorts of methods, sort of like taking the evangelism, to them. So, but why is it still a challenge for us to be able to get very productive agri outcomes out of Nigeria? I mean, when we talk about Nigeria, we compare ourselves with countries like Netherlands that have small portions of land, but they are able to get tons and tons of millions of dollars out in agri outcome. How can Nigeria grow agriculturally and get those better outcomes?
I think you shouldn't be comparing us with countries like the Netherlands. Very small population, very small tracts of land. We have abundant land, we have large population. So why don't we not start comparing apples with oranges, but start comparing apples with apples? Let's say compare ourselves with countries like India, for instance. Of course, India is much larger in terms of land size and population. Compare ourselves with Indonesia. Compare ourselves with maybe Pakistan.
But all those countries you mentioned have better agricultural outcomes than us, that we have all the big land and everything.
That is the problem. No, it's not true. The average farmer output is similar. It's quite similar. The issue is the volumes that they do, the depth. What we need to do is, like you said, replicate this issue that we have been doing, these things that we have been doing, replicate them over and over again. This country is large enough for all of us to do the same thing in our different localities. Once we are able to do that, TGI cannot do it alone. Let others also get into this same thing and build the same ecosystems and be able to do it. Once we start doing that, we'll be able to get those volumes that we are looking for. Today, Nigeria has enough processing capacity to feed itself on rice. But the paddy available is not there. We have about 3 times the processing capacity that is this thing. So the paddy is not there. Can we, for instance, keep encouraging people? And I keep saying, with our abundant population, it is not large-scale, commercial, technology-driven agriculture that is going to solve our problem. If you put one tractor on the land, you probably make 12 people lose their job. Why should we do that? We need those people to be active. So let's not remember that we have to do tractorization. Why don't we do what we call appropriate technology? Can we do labor, not labor saving, but maybe...
But can we use that to compete effectively in the wilder world that is using a lot of science and technology and they're getting ahead?
But Rufai, that the wider world today, even if, for instance, they are buying highly scientific produce, the wider world is also turning natural. going back natural, going organic. The soybean we produce in Nigeria is completely non-GMO. So when you sell the soybean meal in the world, it attracts a premium for being non-GMO as against Brazilian soya or the US soya that comes into the market. When you want to produce animal feed, I get a premium producing non-GMO soya meal out of Nigeria. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have to make our own choices. They may be difficult, but then we need to look at what do we really want to do. Do we want to save menial effort by going scientific and then getting people unemployed? Are they ready? Are we ready? No, we are not. Let's start from somewhere. Let's create more jobs. Let people be in the farm. Look, let me tell you something. Why don't we focus, for instance, today on making the youth that are very mobile, very active, and of course, demographically the largest segment of the population back into agriculture? Let us prove to them that agriculture is as good as any other thing that they can do.
How can we bring the youth into agriculture?
Jobs not being available.
So how can we bring them into agriculture? Because they are looking at the outcomes that are as a low.
Let me give you this typical thing that also has happened in the area where we are doing party, and I will give you the economics. Today, a simple youth in Kebbi who has finished university, for instance, and can't find a government job, which is the type of job he is looking for, having got a degree, gets a piece of land, 1 hectare, and through our support system and the support system we created in the group that they have, he's able to prepare his land. He gets the necessary inputs, and they do the group activity to support him with labor so that he can prepare the land and do all the necessary things. At the end of the day, he probably has an obligation of maybe about 320 to 350,000 naira for that 1 hectare of land. This constitutes his inputs requirement, his labor that he would have paid, which in his farmer business school he's taught how to calculate all those things. And at the end of the day, he produces 4 tons of paddy. That 4 tons is equivalent to about 1.2 to 1.3 million naira of proceed if he sells it in the market. In the open market, let me even not say selling it to me or to any. If he sells it in the open market, he gets about 1.2. Let's take the minimum, 1.2 million tons at 300,000 naira per ton. Are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Then he nets out what he has spent to produce that 4 tons, 350. Let's even max it out to 350. He still would have close to 800,000 naira as his profit. Now, he doesn't need to now go over maybe to borrow more money to do it. And this, let's assume, is in the dry season. What we have found out, for instance, the dry season starts sometime in November and ends maybe latest by April. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So he has some spare cash in his hands. By April, he can prepare his land and wait for the rainy season to begin sometime in June. So he has a break of about a month and a half to 2 months. And then he starts the process all over again. Now, the economics also is that in the wet season, where he has little control over some of the variable natural resources, for instance, rain. He may not be able to control the way the rain comes, so he might have a poor chance of having flood or a drought. So at the end of the day, we have seen over the years, his productivity would not be up to 4 tons, but it would probably be 3 tons. And at the end of the season in October, he sells his 3 tons and makes 900,000. But remember, in this case, he doesn't have any outstanding debt, so to say, because if he likes, he can actually pay for his inputs. He doesn't even have to borrow from me. You understand?
Yes.
So if he nets 800,000 with 900,000, that's 1.7 million. Tell me which graduate makes 1.7 million in a year now in this country.
So are you also accounting for the levels of insecurity, the fact that there could be clashes that affect his farm? What if his crop fails? What if all of those ones happen? Who buffers all of that for him?
Okay, first of all, let's talk about what if his crop fails. We have taught him in Farmer Business School how to insure. In that 350,000 that I told you is his cost includes crop insurance. So that is taken care of. It's a risk. Nobody should just discount it like that and assume it's not going to happen. Yes, it does happen. Yes, insecurity is prevalent in most parts of the Northwest. I agree with you. And if he's doing it in probably some other regions, probably he gets the same risk that he may not be able to do. But we have also seen, and this is generally the case, most farmers, when they do these things in groups, they are able to secure themselves. The communities are not just folding their arms and waiting for security all the time from government. They set up security-conscious groups. They also set up vigilantes that would help in securing themselves. We've had experiences in some particular areas of the Northwest, for instance, in Zamfara, where they can't do. But then for me, Zamfara is not a rice-producing state as much as Kebbi is, or as much as Sokoto, Rima Basin area is, where you have all the Goronyo projects. These places, even the kidnappers don't bother to go because they are waterlogged. It will take them, a difficult terrain to be able to escape, even if they go. And party is not something that you go like maize, where in the night you can go with your truck and harvest it for the farmer and escape with it. It doesn't happen like that. So we are also supposed to encourage local government, state government, and support the federal government in getting all these things in place. Yes, we can't continue to wait for security to improve before we go back to the farms, because hunger will always drive you out anyway.
All right. I mean, you've said so much. I know the TGI is a private group, but there are a lot of people that might be listening now that they're excited about agriculture, that they want to go into it. Is there like a channel, to reach you guys for this support you were talking about, or is only farmers nucleated in a certain part of the country?
Okay. First of all, we have an agro input division that sells agro inputs to the public. So if yours is maybe to trade in agricultural inputs, we have our doors open. We are setting up what we call agric centers, work-up agric centers, wherein they become aggregation units for training, and units where all the inputs can be sold. So we're doing that. Then in those crops of interest to us, we are always open for partnerships and are always interested in discussing with people who want to promote it. we are also, please take this, and this is very important, we are also ready to show people how it is done so that they can go and replicate it elsewhere. I have heard situations where banks are unable to recover loans that they have given under all the intervention programs of government. They have been unable to recover. How are they unable to recover as banks, whereas as a private company, I'm recovering 98%? So they need to come and learn how it is done. Of course, it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. It took us a number of years to perfect it to this level, but then we shouldn't hold the monopoly of knowledge and say that we are not going to share it with anybody. We want these things replicated because Nigeria is a great country and we have to continue to build it to become greater.
Okay, thank you so much, and I really say a very big thank you because I know somebody listening to this
Thank you so much.
will have been greatly inspired, and it's going to help promote Nigeria, make Nigeria a whole lot better, and help us achieve greatness across board also in the agricultural value chain. Thank you so much for your time, and definitely I know when this hits. So we'll pretty much start the interview and talk about all the rich things that your company is doing for, farmers and at the agri sector. I'm Mr. Sadiq Kazim of the TGI Group. It's my pleasure to meet you this lovely afternoon. Great to have you, sir.
Good afternoon, Rufai, and it's a pleasure also being with you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so sequel to the conversation we had at the Africa CEOs Forum, I just want you to tell us how well your group has been doing for farmers and what a lot of farmers can benefit from this conversation.
Okay, we need to start from way back, let's say 30 years back, maybe 40. TGI is largely a company that has operated under the radar. We have many operations that are into agriculture, agro-processing, and into various sectors of the agricultural value chain. You may know we are into poultry, sheep farms, and we've been doing that for such a long time. Sheep farms is today arguably one of the foremost poultry farms in the country. Not only just producing day-old chicks, but going back to parent stock and grandparent stock. It's also involved in aquaculture, doing fish and fish production and fish feed. Also going from the aquaculture and bringing it up to juveniles for sale in the market, and then the grown out fish. Then going down the lane, we have been involved in cotton cultivation. Some 20 years back, we were the foremost cotton company under the name of WACOT, West African Cotton Company Limited. We have two big gineries, one in Gombe, in the heart of the cotton belt in the northeast, and the other in Funtua, also in the heart of the cotton belt in the northwest. When cotton cultivation and cotton production went down, we shifted focus. We are now a foremost aggregation and origination company doing a lot of other commodities. We are doing maize, we are doing sesame, we are doing cocoa, we are doing rice, we are doing...
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?